Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today, what I'd like to do is to talk about some really excellent watches, but they have movements by someone else. In other words, they're not in house movements, but they're really good movements. And also, one other criteria is that they're off the shelf. In other words, they're already made. The one I'm wearing right now, this is a Larique with a Agenor movement. Now, these movements here are all bespoke, which is to say that you want a movement from Agenor, they'll make one for you to your specifications. There are no off the shelves there. But there are some excellent off the shelf uh, watch movements by other companies. So let's take a look at them. Now, the first one we're going to look at is Chronode. Francois Jean-Francois Mojan was the watchmaker who started Chronode, and he makes a number of different movements, and he has some very good ones that I refer to as off the shelf. The first one is called the Caliber C101, and there are a lot of different configurations for the C101. It's double barrel. It's got a 7-day power reserve to it. It's hand wound, which I happen to like a lot. And different companies use them, and rather than either one getting a cheap movement or getting one that they have to make themselves, they will use Chronode or one of the other ones we're going to look at. They also too is that when you get these things, it doesn't look like a Chronode, and that's because they've put their own engraving and logos and so forth on the back of the movement. Anyway, 3 hertz, dual barrels in series, 7-day power reserve. Now the next one is Schwarz Etienne. Now Schwarz Etienne has some. Historically, they used to have a lot. Chanel, all of the older Chanel movements were by Schwarz Etienne, and so more recently they've been offering their movements for as is, sort of like off-the-shelf movements. This particular one is called the ASE 200.02. And the watch that it's on is an RGM Teddy Vaucher edition. What if you turn the watch over, you can see all of the different engraving and englaves and so on and so forth they put into the movement. But this is what the movement looks like, sort of like, say, right out of the box. And you can. I mean, the thing is all ready to go. You can pop it in there, put a dial on it, and put some hands on it, and put it in a case, and Bob's your uncle. It's all done. Another very, very nice one. Now, this one is also 3 hertz, which is, again, I like 3 hertz. It's automatic. I'm not an automatic fan, but that's okay. Nobody cares. It has a micro rotor. The good thing about a micro rotor, it keeps it thinner. The other rotors, the bigger rotors, they take up more space. And this one also, RGM 501, has a really gorgeous guilloche that Roland Murphy did for the watch. Now, the final one is Vaucher manufacturer Fleurier. The watch is called a Lane V38. Again, and this is another automatic, another micro rotor, and again 3 hertz, 21,600 semi-oscillations per hour. It's got a 50-hour reserve, and like I said, it has a micro rotor. So, and again, all of these, all 3 watches are over 10,000 Swiss francs, so they're $10,000. I might add also. So they're really up there with as far as the luxury watches are concerned. Anyway, this is one. So a lot of time people say, well, it's not in house. These are as good as most in houses. Okay, I don't. and two, there's sometimes a watchmaker will modify the movement for some special feature that they want for it, and they usually work with the watchmakers, Vaucher, Schwarz Etienne, or Chronode. So anyway, uh, let me know what you think. If you have one of these watches, I'd really like to hear about it. It's an opportunity to subscribe if you like. And until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection.